A Podland Supernova Podcast Review, Lex Fridman Podcast. 483, Julia Shaw, Understanding Evil, Memory, and the Psychology of Crime. What drives a person to kill? Can science truly understand the nature of evil? In this episode of the Lex Fridman Podcast, psychologist and author Dr. Julia Shaw joins Lex to dissect the minds of murderers, the reliability of memory, and the tangled web of sex, violence, and human behavior. The discussion moves beyond headlines, deep diving into Shaw's cutting-edge research and personal experiences within both courtrooms and clinical settings. Key themes. 1. The human context of evil. Shaw debunks Hollywood's image of evil monsters, instead advocating for an understanding rooted in ordinary social psychology. She describes how factors like family upbringing, group pressure, economic hardship, and slow exposure to violence all compound. One powerful example is her recounting of studies showing that seemingly upright citizens, given authority and anonymity, can inflict harm, echoing the infamous Stanford prison experiment. Nobody is born a monster. We make monsters. Through circumstances, through choices, sometimes entirely mundane ones, people cross a line and find themselves on the other side. Julia Shaw. 2. Memories, fragility, and forensic implications. Shaw explores the science of memory distortions, referencing her own research with police forces and legal professionals. She describes common cognitive errors, such as misattribution, remembering something from another source as your own, and warns of the suggestibility of children and trauma survivors. Lex pushes her to explain how these flaws imperil justice, sometimes resulting in wrongful convictions or delayed discovery of actual perpetrators. Memory isn't a camera, it's a story we keep rewriting. I've seen cases where people recall events in vivid detail that simply never happened. Julia Shaw advocates for ongoing forensic reforms, suggesting legal systems must respect memory's malleability. 3. The psychology of serial killers. Shaw describes her work analyzing interviews and profiles of serial killers, highlighting that most do not fit media caricatures. Childhood abuse, mental health struggles, social isolation, and personality disorders recur in their backgrounds. The desire for attention or power is often more prevalent than pure malice. Shaw and Lex trade insights about how society can better identify risk factors and intervene with compassion before killings escalate. If you treat serial killers as boogeymen, you'll never understand them. Most of them crave attention, validation, and, perhaps surprisingly, believe they're misunderstood. Julia Shaw. The discussion frames serial killing not as supernatural, but as a tragic intersection of preventable failures. 4. Sex, consent, and cultural taboos. Delving into sex crimes, Shaw explains how historical taboos, rapidly shifting norms, and legal ambiguity create confusion for all parties. She describes scenarios where outdated narratives cause victims to stay silent or offenders to misinterpret signals. Lex challenges her to apply psychological perspectives to modern digital dating, exploring the gray areas of consent and cultural expectations. Shaw stresses the importance of education and clear communication. The law isn't just about rules, it's about stories. When it comes to sex and consent, those stories are constantly changing as society changes. Julia Shaw. 5. Empathy for victims and perpetrators. Shaw makes a powerful plea for empathy. She shares anecdotes from prisons, describing how seeing the pain and fear in perpetrators can foster both healing and accountability. She explains that harsh punishment alone rarely leads to rehabilitation, and recounts studies showing that restorative justice, where offenders confront the real impact of their actions, often reduces future criminality. If we can't see the humanity in those who do terrible things, we fail ourselves. Rehabilitation isn't naive. It's how we move forward, as a society, together. Julia Shaw. Conclusion. Julia Shaw and Lex Fridman call on us to reject easy answers about evil. Their conversation reveals that crime, memory, and morality exist on a spectrum shaped by culture, trauma, and countless tiny decisions. Understanding the roots of violence and the unreliability of our own minds can help society build better laws, better support networks, and, ultimately, a more just world. We believe that personalities live on a spectrum and behaviors can be unplanned and impulsive, but generally we think Shaw leans into excuses and victimization of the offender, more than sympathy for the actual victim. Some takeaways here, but a lot to question. Some takeaways here, but a lot to question.